What's up, everybody? I found this funny meme. It says, "Sad vacation is over. Sad vacation is over. Good. Now get to work." So anyway, I just want to talk about people on the CARES Act and the vacation that they've been on and the current unemployment rate and getting back to work. You lazy fucks. Get your ass back to work. Nah, I'm joking. I mean, okay, like honestly, look, personally for me, all right. Now this is just me speaking. I am younger, okay? But because I am younger, I am in my 20s. I associate with people mostly uh actually, wait, you know what? I actually associate with a lot of people from different varying ages. So I can't just say my own age in particular, but you know, I've talked to people from every age division and I've come to this conclusion. I have yet to meet anyone who needed the additional $600 from the CARES Act, okay? You should be using that money, or at least some of that money, to pay all of your essential employees more money to be exposing themselves during the COVID-19. Now, hear me out. If you're making more money than majority of essential employees by staying home, and you're probably not staying home, you're breaking the quarantine rules. Let's be honest. You know, a lot of you are, and a lot of you are using your finances the money you've been getting irresponsibly. Now, this is not towards all people on unemployment. There are a lot of people who truly do need the unemployment, but a lot of you don't need it from what I've seen, at least not that much, okay? When you're making more off unemployment, well, that's a bad sign, okay? And the government knows that. So here's my prediction. I do predict that the CARES Act will be extended. So, there's that. So what I recommend, so what I think the government's doing currently is that we have yet to hear any real news or any confirmation on whether or not the CARES Act is going to be extended, how they're going to go on about it, and whatnot. But I assume that it's going to be extended because there's just no way that while maybe, let's just pretend maybe 1 out of 10, and I'm being generous here, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15 truly did need the CARES Act. Okay, that's $600. Not everybody did. If you're using that money to pay for your college loans, to pay for your lease, to pay like the lease to the car you don't need, okay, that you couldn't afford to begin with, the lease towards things you couldn't afford that are just luxuries, you never really needed it to begin with, okay? But I do believe that they're going to be extending the CARES Act because, again, while 14 people out of 15 might have not needed the CARES Act $600 additional, maybe one did. And if that's 1 out of 15 and we're using 40 million plus as a reference, well, that's a lot of people who are going to starve. So I don't believe the CARES Act is going to be I don't think the CARES Act is going to be removed. I believe it's just going to be tailored individually to suit people's needs eventually, or it's going to be reduced to a flat rate of less than 600. But either way, I believe it's going to be extended. Okay. Now, with that being said, I've known this for quite a while. Okay. It seems to me that the government is stuck in a situation where they realize, okay, nobody wants to go back to work because those who are on unemployment right now with the additional 600 CARES Act are making more money than ever. So why would they want to go back to work if they're on a paid vacation to do whatever they want? Well, they don't want to. So with that being said, we'd have to look at it like this. The government's stuck, right? Employers cannot match the wages that the government handouts are offering, okay? The government has, I believe that they had a proposal in place where they would pay $450 additionally a week as an incentive for people to return back to work. So you'd be making what you would make at work with an additional $450. That's only $150 less than the CARES Act, but that's not enough. Who wants to return back to work unless you're in the income bracket where it's worthwhile mathematically and financially to do so? You're making more while having free time to do whatever you please. Time is money. So $450 isn't enough to get people back to work. But as time goes by and we get closer to the deadline of July 31st, we might notice people going back to work, trying to find jobs. But, there are people who aren't in a financial tight situation who are going to end up writing it out, milking that unemployment, playing, they're going to be playing mind games with, not mind, they're going to be playing like, what is it called, Chase the Chicken, or they're gonna be having a staring contest with the government on who breaks first. Okay, is it gonna be the people or the government? Because the government is stuck in a situation where if they announce tomorrow, or if they announce anytime sooner that the CARES Act was going to be extended past July 31st, well, everybody on the CARES Act is going to be like, nope, I don't want to go back to work, right? Right? It makes sense. But if the government decides to release information about the CARES Act possibility being extended, July 31st, late July, August, well, people who are on unemployment might feel more that they have a choice between applying for a job while it's still available, or risking it and waiting to see if the government will extend the unemployment. So, if a lot of these people who never really need the CARES Act to begin with are going to be the types of people who are going to be playing, a stare contest with the government to see who's going to break first. And the people who actually do need the money are going to go back to work desperately. So we're going to see employment rise finally, and that's good. What sucks about the CARES Act, though, is that there's a lot of people in the middle of everything who are in situations where they weren't eligible for the CARES Act but need it more than those who are currently on it. There are people who were working part-time, or there are people who were contracted by their state and all they've received is a stimulus check, and now they're not eligible for unemployment because they were on temp employment, or they just weren't eligible for whatever reason, and that sucks for them because they probably needed it more than a majority of these people in the CARES Act, and I know a few people like that. So that being said, you either have to gamble whether or not you want to risk it and see if the CARES Act will be extended, because that it probably will, or we can go get a job now and those benefits will end, or they might be extended and you're going to be back to work. So good luck with that. And if I were you, if I were on unemployment and if I was in a situation financially where I could be okay with just regular unemployment insurance, I personally would I would wait it out and see how the CARES Act goes, because who wants to go back to work right now, man? Nobody want to go back to work, especially during the COVID-19. So again, it's up to you. Risk it for the biscuit is what I say. So, you don't have to get your lazy ass back to work, man. Maybe you can just sit home and eat those Snicker bars, man. You want to eat those Snicker bars, huh? Hey fatty, huh? You want those Snickers bars while you play Final Fantasy, huh? Yeah, have a good day.